Hello everyone, my name's King, and I believe this is episode 4 of TekNSpace. I'm trying something a bit different. I mean, all the videos so far have been pretty different from each other in this series. It's, yeah. But I'm trying something a bit different. We'll see how it works and if I stick with it. Probably going to script these. I just didn't want to script this one. I figured I might save that for going forward. More about that at the end of the video if you're interested about that. Stick to the end for that. But yeah, so in this video we are making the core and storage module for the space station. I wanted something a bit bigger, a bit more robust, and just a bit more interesting and futuristic for the actual beginning of the actual colony part of the spaceport. This is where the tech part in TekNSpace comes in. It's where Tektopia, the Tektopia mod, was supposed to kick in. I was going to have the town hall and storage buildings within this module, along with a little bit of farms and housing, so we can actually get quote-unquote astronauts moving around within the actual space station. As you might have seen already and will continue to see throughout the video, that did not work. The station has this horrible curse regarding power and oxygen. It just never seems to work. I start a module and it seems to sustain itself, but then I increase the scale and complete it, and then everything shuts down. It's probably a world edit problem, but if I can't figure this out, that's a real series ender. And I'll talk about our options at the end of the video of what to do going forward if I can't figure this out, which I believe I won't be able to, but that's how it goes. Anyway, a little bit of lore about this module, because I feel like that is something that is really interesting we could do with this style of videos, and is really interesting to do with builds in general. It's to add a little bit of a lore, a little bit of backstory as to why things are the way they are. So, as I've alluded before in the previous couple episodes in the series, the first couple modules that we added in episode 1 and 2, those are old technology. Those are original space station technology, modern day technology. And that was the original space station, how it looked, how it acted, long before it was converted into the spaceport we are creating today. And then we added the oxygen modules from, I believe, episode 3. Those are the green kind of die looking, or 6-side, or how many sides? 9-sided die, I believe. That's the hexagonal looking thing. We added 2 of those in the last episode, and those were a little bit more updated, a little bit more futuristic technology in preparation for the huge amount of construction that is going to be occurring within in-universe the next couple decades. And this module, the core storage module, is the first one to mark the actual beginning of construction. The core and storage module is supposed to be the backbone and information center of the spaceport. It's where all the administration is, it's where access to the central spinal cord of the station lies, and it is also where all of the resources that is developed within the spaceport to sustain itself, all of it converges here. Thus the name of the core. Now, of course, that does not work. The station in-universe has always had a unreliability when it comes to maintaining its functions and keeping the crew sustained without outside support. Before there was all this improvements, it always had a issue with power and oxygen, and even with the oxygen modules applied, it still always had a power issue. And so when this core storage module was added, that fixed some of the issues, but when they brought crew on board to have a sustained period of leave on this space station, they found that there was no way for them to sustainably survive without constantly having to worry about the bureaucratic space centers down on Earth for supplies. So the astronauts on board came up with the idea of just farm and take what was the outer ring of the space core, which was originally intended to be used for just traffic purposes of moving throughout the station. They decided to set up some farms and some rudimentary cabins on there, which heavily diminished the efficiency of the station, but at the time, none of the other modules were added yet, and so it just persisted, and that's just how it worked for a majority of the time. But yeah, overall, this was a very interesting build to do. It was very complex, and it was pretty fun worrying about the actual logistics of making Galacticraft happy with everything and creating these bubble domes for the oxygen so that I can make bigger modules without having to worry about having it suffocate people. But in general, it just, once you thrown world at it did not work. It's not working still. So I'm not sure how long this series is gonna last if that keeps happening. But yeah, aside from that, tutorials are going to continue. Hermitless is going to continue pretty much the same as it always has been. Nothing different there. And yeah, so subscribe, ring bell, like, etc. Comment if you want. And I'll see you in another video. This has been King. Goodbye. I gotta stop it. Stop recording. No.